Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is going to be a takeover video, but just seeing as I've popped onto Sansa's account here, we've got a message saying, coming soon. Once in a generation, summoners must stand and prove themselves against Teleria's most brutal tests. Tests that only the strongest will conquer. Looks like from the image we've seen recently, we've got, I guess, maybe either two rival factions, or perhaps they're all of the same faction. It almost feels like, from what I've seen in the previous image and what we're seeing here, we've got two rivals. Almost like this Lich King looking guy takes on this, maybe that's Champ Fort, I'm not sure, maybe it's Champ Fort and there's just adding a couple of champions to that faction, but it looks like there's a couple of bears coming in, which will be cool. Yeah, so some new stuff coming, prepare yourself. There's all a lot of Easter eggs that sort of say, stuff's coming soon, coming soon. We really need it, actually. It feels like we've been saying coming soon for weeks, and in my world, soon is quicker than this, but let's see. Anyway, let's get into today's video. So, Sansa Odinson basically come to me and said, you've guessed it, help me out. Basically, we are on the mission trail. We need to clear stage 20 of spiders so that we can get this arbiter. That's one of the primary reasons for the account sort of takeover. And the second one really is we're kind of kicking out the good damage on Nightmare. So we've been managing to do around the sort of 15 million on Nightmare. So looking to improve that, and then also looking to get a team that can actually deal with Ultra Nightmare. Let's see what the rewards are live on video. Not too shabby. Not worth keeping those, and nothing worth having there. So let's have a look around the account. What have we got here? We've got an okay Great Hall. It's a little bit underdeveloped. We have got our level 10 done here, obviously, to get that far in the missions, which is good. Accuracy's been the main focus, which again is good. Just feels like we need to start to give a bit more love now to some of the defense, crit damage, to start to boost some numbers elsewhere. Let's have a check out of this roster. Just see if there's anyone hiding in the vault first before we go into the main one. So we've got a rearguard sergeant here who's a good champ. Got a Jared, good champ. Tyrell. Yeah, it's quite a lot of good stuff in here if we need it. Obviously we're not going to use it today, but let's see what we've got. So we've got a Vizier, which for anyone who's ever pulled a Vizier, you will appreciate. Vizier completely changes the landscape of Clan Boss. So if Vizier is the only legendary you ever pull, it means you can do things completely differently on Clan Boss, because he always maintains debuffs. Even on negative affinity, he maintains debuffs. He is insane. He's got this A1, which basically every time you hit, you've got a 35% chance, which goes up to 50% chance to increase all debuffs by 1 turn. As long as you've got him in your team, you can completely change the setup of your team. So he's obviously a definite shoe-in. We need to find someone who's going to lay our poisons. We need to find someone who's going to decrease defense, someone who's going to decrease attack, and ideally someone who's going to weaken. And then other than that, we need to build the team that is going to do the most damage. So immediately what I'm seeing here is we do not have a counter-attacker, unless I'm going blind. We do not. So we've got no counter-attacker, so we need a team that can go fast and go often. If you don't have counter-attack, the next option for you is go quickly, hit the clan boss as often as you can, and do as much damage in that time window as you can. So what are we going to do then? So we've got Vizier as a 100%. I need someone who's going to lay poisons, someone who's going to decrease attack. Because we don't have a counter-attacker and we've got a Vizier, I'm looking to minimize the amount of champions that I need to bring in to do stuff like decrease attack and poison, etc. Because it then means that I get to have more spaces for people that are going to make me go quick, or for people that are going to keep me alive. So my old buddy, my old pal, Tomb Lord, that no one's really got much love for, has got poison. He's got decreased attack, decreased defense, and he's got a free hit A1. Free hit A1 is great if you don't have a counter attack team, because this is going to do damage. Let's see if he's got any masteries. Not yet. we might be able to sort that out. So he would be my first choice for this team for the decrease attack, decrease defense. I know we've got Tyrell here, but he also brings the poison. And as long as he's doing all of those jobs for me, it means I don't need to bring in another poisoner. Xavier's terrible for any sort of auto setup, so she's not going to be in there for poisons. Occult Brawler literally only brings poisons, and he brings way more than we need if you've got a Vizier. So normally Occult Brawler or maybe Juliana would be my go-to here, but I think actually Tomb Lord does enough to get him up on the team sheet as second place. So we've got Vizier, we've got Tomb Lord. I'm going to be bringing Duchess in because she has got a speed lead. And we want to go fast, 19% more speed out of this. And because she is going to keep people alive. And because so far we've picked 2 champions that are going to be attack based. She also boosts attack here. So, and she's got a block debuff, so we're going to be able to survive the hits from the clan boss better. So all in all, she's a great choice for us. So that's 3 champions nailed on the mast. I think the next one I would bring in would be Razin. Razin Starhide brings my weaken for me, so that's one of the other roles that I want filled. If there was an Arbiter in here, Arbiter would come in, and obviously we don't have one yet, that's what we're working towards, but Arbiter would come in to bring that spot for us. I guess there would be some sort of argument to say, what about Aethel in this team over Razin? Aethel brings a weaken, she brings a free hit A1 as well, but Razin's a better choice. So Razin will bring weaken and a free hit A1, and he's also a defensive champ, so he's going to stay alive a long time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've pulled together all of the main things we need to get decent damage on the clan boss with that. So the last thing we would want is either some sort of heals or speed manipulation. So, you know, looking through the ranks here, we could have someone like a Lugan in. He brings heal, he brings ally protection, increased defense. That this ability is no good for us, but these two are both decent. His A1's only a 1 hit, which is a shame. Increased defense is actually pretty strong in terms of what we need here. So he could be a good choice for us. If I'm looking through, the other choice is Apothecary, just to make us go faster. Faster, heals, and he's also got a free hit A1. He's also attack based, which will benefit from the Duchess's ability. So I think it's probably going to end up being him. The other thing to say is Vizier's already got a decreased attack in his kit. So we could scrap Tomb Lord, have decreased attack, decreased defense, weaken, Duchess, Apothecary, which would then free 1 more space, but I still would have to have somebody that brings poisons, which is why I kind of went for Tomb Lord before, because he does all of those jobs. So I'd have to have either a Juliana or a Occult Brawler or somebody else in the ranks that would bring the poison anyway. So I think I'm going to stick with my original plan. So I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably will end up going for Apothecary as my 5th. Even though I would be interested to see what Lugan can do here. So maybe I'll build them both up and do a run with both of them. So that is going to be that. Now, in terms of a speed team, what are we looking for? So if we don't have much in the way of heals, we do have a bit of healing going on here. Not much though. I think she only heals if she revives people, which we don't really want that to happen. She does have shields and stuff, so ideally when you're going for speed teams, anyone that can be going with Relentless set would be amazing. So if you can get Relentless set going on her, and that might be an argument then to say, well, maybe Luden's your best bet to have, you know, if we had loads of Relentless gear, I haven't even checked the gear yet. If we had loads of Relentless gear here with good stats on it, there's an argument to say, forget Lifesteal, go Relentless, and so we've got a fair chunk. It wouldn't be enough to gear more than perhaps a couple of people. But yeah, there's an argument to say, go Relentless, try and get as many hits in as you can. Luden will keep you all alive, and you know, maybe that's a higher damage output than speed going as many times as you can. But I think in this instance, with the level of account we're at, we're probably going to go Lifesteal on most of these. Lifesteal anyway. He's obviously not set for Clan Boss. and yeah, we'll see where we get to. So let's just check. We've got Masteries, but probably set for Arena. Not finished here. And that's looking okay. So we would want as much speed coming through the Masteries in this sort of build as we could get, which looks like what we've got. The only thing to say is because you've got Vizier on your team, this one here, it says 30% chance of increase in turn meter when a debuff is removed or expires. His debuffs will not expire. So Vizier makes sure of that, which means that the one that you would normally pick because you think it's going to give you a load more speed will actually do nothing for speed. So just again, worth bearing in mind. So anyway, I'm going to get into the gear, just find out what's going on, and then we will come back. So we've got a lot of gear here, 639 pieces, but I've got to say, this is somebody who really understands how to keep hold of, you know, decent gear. Even that's probably not worth selling. I haven't found anything yet which I would get rid of, actually. So we're pretty maxed out on gear. That's not that difficult to do, though. I'm in a similar position on my account that I don't feel like I want to be getting rid of much stuff, but then I'm also still trying to farm up new bits. So yeah, I mean, there's argument to say you could, you know, is this amazing? No, but it's actually still decent, so I probably wouldn't sell it unless I had to. Certainly on the speed stuff, I'd be keeping bits that were looking like that. So yeah, it's actually not much to do here in terms of gear cleansing. I mean, I would probably just get rid of a bunch of these because the set bonus is just so bad. Maybe at maximum keep one set, but that's being really picky. There's not really much to do. Same sort of thing with poison. The set, when you're at this sort of stage of the game, you know, it's probably one of the worst sets you can have unless you're doing like an unkillable team. Otherwise, I wouldn't be keeping too much of it, but it's, yeah, as I say, the kind of gear control on this account is actually very good, which is quite refreshing to see. Yeah, compared to some of the ones I've done recently, this is looking pretty sharp. So it's not much to do here. I'm going to clear out a little bit, and then we can get straight into re-gearing the champs. Okay, so we've finished re-gearing everybody. I've changed everyone's masteries as well. So we've got masteries, defense, and offense. Defense, so we can get this counter-attack mastery coming in on everybody. Which means because we don't have a counter-attacker, we've got a good chance that it's going to proc quite a lot throughout the fight. Everybody's in lifesteal gear. Everybody is speed tuned so that they're going to be over 209 speed when I have Duchess as my lead, and Duchess has got this increased speed in all battles aura. I've tried to push as much defense as I can, but speed is the priority. Speed followed by accuracy followed by defense. So here's Vizier. So Vizier is at about 3.2k defense, 225 speed, which is good, maybe a bit quick actually, 248 accuracy. We've got the Razin, who is at 198 speed, 4k defense, 252 accuracy, decent crit rate as well. That's looking pretty good. Duchess is on 222 speed, which is fast, 3.5 defense, which is okay, 46k HP, and doesn't need accuracy. And we then go on to Tomb Lord. So Tomb Lord is on 194 speed, 3.3k defense, 32k HP, 195 accuracy. So he's probably, out of everyone, he's probably got the worst build. I do need for him to land these poisons. So if he gets a critical hit, he's got a chance of placing 4 poisons. I actually need to fiddle with his gear a little bit. I'll come back to this. Okay, a little fiddle around with some gear. So I needed to get crit rate up to closer to 100 so that he always lands those poisons. So we've done crit rate 90. And accuracy's come up a little bit as well. So this is better. Now, his speed is low. So speed is low, his defense is low, but the rest of the guys are going to be lapping him as well, basically. He's going to be running in tune with the clan boss. Everyone else is going to be lapping the clan boss. So yeah, so that's Tomb Lord, Razin. I think I showed Duchess. I just had to change some gear between her and Tomb Lord. So she's now going to be going for these boots and this shield. Yeah. Which brings her in at about 3.5k defense, 47k HP. Doesn't need accuracy, good speed. She's set up well. And then lastly, Apothecary, who is also in Lifesteal Gear. Same sort of masteries, apart from his is based on healing rather than defense setup. So he has got 3.6k defense, 37k HP, 200 speed. So he's going to lap the clan boss. Good crit rate, which means we're going to get some of those crit heals coming off. And yeah, basically we're kind of gone defense, defense, defense for all the accessories. And then we've got defense, defense, speed for the lowest section. Pretty much everyone's got that same setup. So it's all about trying to make sure that we stay alive for as long as possible, but put as many hits in as possible. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for a run on the, look, pretty much exhausted all the silver here. We're going to go straight in against Nightmare and run this team. Now, I need to do a bit of work on the setup. I could just throw it on auto and we would get a decent run. But what I want to do is make sure that we extend the first set of poisons, because he only does 1 turn poisons. So it's really important that we get the extension done on his abilities with Vizier. If I did it now, the clan boss would go and they would just completely wipe off. So instead what I'm going to do is get his decrease attack up, which didn't land anyway. So we're just going to start extending the ones that Razin had put on, put the hits in. This turn around, we're going to do the poisons, and Vizier's going to be able to extend those poisons. So hopefully we get 4 up. Yeah, perfect. Vizier comes with the extender. So you see now we've got poisons for days, already ticking in, which is great. And I'm just going to keep manualing until we get a full set of debuffs, which will probably take me about 2.5 minutes. And then after that, we can hit auto and it will run beautifully. So we're waiting for decrease attack to come back. We want to make sure that's definitely one of the debuffs that goes up. Always keep the speed buff running as often as we can. Obviously, if you manual anyway, you're going to do more damage because there's so many people here we just want to use A1s on. But you can't do that on, if you just want to hit the auto, then we need to be able a team that can do it. This team can definitely do it. Can definitely just have an auto run. It'd probably cost you a few million in damage, but it's definitely possible. So keep putting this one on because it gives us more damage with the increased attack. On the next turn, we're going to get all those poisons back. The next wave of poisons. And yeah, so we're actually going to be closer to probably 2.5 minutes before I can push auto here. Keep the speed rolling. Again, I just want to make sure if I do it, is Vizier going to get a turn in time? Yes, he is. So now's a good time to do it. So we've got 3 more on there. And we've got the debuff extension, which is great. So 3, 6, 9. We're just waiting for decrease attack to go on. Actually, lucky I didn't land that extra 4th poison there. So we're going to extend again. Perfect. So extended up really nice. Hopefully we land this decrease attack. There it is. And this should now be almost a kind of perfect setup to be able to just throw the auto on. So hopefully we get an extension here. We did. So now we're in good shape. And all we've got to do now is basically throw the auto on. We've got a number of people just hitting with their A1s to give us more damage. And yeah, I mean, hopefully this will be well over 20 million for a key. So here we go. I'll show you how we get on at the end. Okay, here we go. 13.7 million just from Tomb Lord alone. 27.7 million first run on Nightmare. We're banging way over 2 key Nightmare damage without a counter attacker. That is pretty cool. Especially when we're considering we've got a Tomb Lord in there who's normally Vault Lord. So yeah, all in all, really happy with that. Let's go and check out what we can do on Ultra Nightmare. So this is going to be a big test. I've not run a team like this on Ultra Nightmare. I don't know if I've ever run a team like this on Ultra Nightmare. Actually, I was going to say for a while, but I'm not sure if I ever have. So more of a challenge here. Obviously, the Ultra Nightmare is faster. Okay, so we're coming in Ultra Nightmare 20.1 million. So we have doubled the damage of the previous setup, which is pretty nuts. 20 million with no counter attacker. I guess basically we've got actually really weak damage from Apothecary, so I thought he'd do a bit more with his Giant Save procs. He's not done that much, but I guess he's speeding up and stuff as well. But yeah, big damage from Tomb Lord, 11 million. And that was with missing some of the poisons and stuff, which you saw through the fight as well. So that can easily go up to 22, 23 million. definite 4-key team here for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. So really pleased with that. That's been quite an interesting one to do. Not the same sort of team that I'd normally see. Certainly some different champions from normal. So yeah, that is Clan Boss done and dusted. Let's get on with killing the spider. So for spider then, what we're going to do, pretty much what we usually do. We're going to kill it. So what we need is decreased defense, which Tyrell is very good for and already well built. We need miscreated monster with his shielding shenanigans, good HP here. So this build is already decent. So 1, 2 feels right. We probably could go with, I mean, Duchess potentially is great for Spider. Brings block debuffs, brings increased attack, so she could work for us. And we've obviously got people like Royal Guard. Royal Guard is built okay. He's a bit squishy actually. The reason why I don't like this build so much is because what we got here, 34k HP. Maybe it could work. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potentially Kaimar for a reset. Or because we don't get too much turn meter control with that, we could pull in. Which one was built? This one's built, and Apothecary. No, she's not Apothecary. It's Cold Heart. Oh, why can't I say the right name for this champion? It's Cold Heart. I can't believe it. I say it wrong every single time. So we could bring in breathe and breathe. Right, Cold Heart, Tyrell, miscreated monster, Duchess, maybe a Apothecary, but I don't want to use them both on the same team. But yeah, there's plenty. Anyway, we've got plenty of options here. I don't even think I need to rebuild anything. I think I just need to get going with some runs and play with some stuff. So at the moment, it's not been possible. So I think this is 8 seconds. I'm not sure. It must have just been a manual run where we kind of cheesed it off. So we want to make sure that we're not got a load of reds in here. So that's probably why she's struggling so far. Tomb Lord's not a bad shout in here, actually. AoE, decrease defense, and weaken, perhaps. Yeah, not bad, but I think we'll go with Tyrell anyway. Tyrell does the job a bit better. We'll keep the speed aura, I like that. We're going to put Miscreated Monster in there for shields. We're going to put Cold Heart in there for the nuke. Make sure I pick the right one. Which I have. So if you didn't know, actually, left click, hold, and then go into total stats, and you'll see what the stats are. That's really useful. It took me ages to find that. And I would say our accuracy is actually too low. Just realised that. Just check that out, because the accuracy is really important for dropping the turn meter. If we don't have at least sort of 190 accuracy, then that's not going to work. So let's just see if we've got a banner here that could do the job. This one could do. It's the only one we got, so that's going to do the job. Puts up accuracy up to 168, which is better. Probably should just run that up a bit more as well. We've got an HP amulet here, which again, HP is really low here, which means we probably don't have HP chests on. Nice. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of playing around. I'll come back to this in a second. Okay, so we've had a little bit of a change around. I've just got the crit back where it needed to be. I've got the accuracy up a little bit. We've got the HP up. Ideally, I'd roll this to 16. Ideally, I'd roll this to 16, but I just don't have enough silver left. So we're going to go with this, see how we do. But that's definitely better than where we were. So we have got decreased defense, shielding, nuke, and turn meter. Turn meter here, block debuffs, resurrect, all that type of good stuff there. And I think we either go with some heals and more speed, which is a good option, or we could go with Kaimar for a reset, or we could even go with Royal Guard for some nukage. But I think the Spiderlings may target him. I probably need healing and speed, just to give me some guarantees here. So the Spiderling should go after Duchess. She's tanky, she's in lifesteal gear, so that's decent. Let's just give it a try. So it needs to be on auto for this to work for the mission, which is what ultimately we're trying to do here. So Duchess is the only one visible to the Spiderling, so she is definitely going to be targeted. We've got massive shields coming out from Miscreated Monster. That's cool. We've got speed buffs on. We've got turn meter stuff going on. So far, so good. Didn't get the drop turn meter. See that? The accuracy's not high enough. And that's the danger with what we've got going on there with that cold heart. So refill to full. Kind of expect that if you don't drop the turn meter there anyway. So I might just have to try and get some more silver and get that accuracy banner up to 16. Because if we can get ourselves up to that kind of 200 accuracy, we shouldn't ever get that fail. Or at least you kind of need 220 really, but 200 is not bad. And I'd rather 100% drop the turn meter than hit a little bit harder. So if I need to take that crit damage gear off her and put accuracy gear on, then that's another option as well. So just bear it in mind, guys. Hitting hard is great, but if the abilities are not working like they're meant to, then hitting hard means literally nothing. We dropped 10 meter there. That was good. So looking good. Shielding's working fine. This isn't going to be the quickest team in the world. I think that she's probably got the we've probably got the champions here to have a quick team. Actually, there's another Royal Guard, there's another Cold Heart, there's a Kaimar. So there's definitely champions here that could build a speed team. I just don't have the silver to be able to kind of redo it. She's down. Should get a resurrect though. Turn meter drop there. It's nice. Says the rebirth. There's the shielding. So we're still in reasonable shape. We're going to get the next kind of sucking of the spiderlings coming up. There it is. So we've only actually done a pretty small amount of damage. Because mainly because we're not dropping that turn meter effectively enough. So we're just going to do one more full rotation and see where we get to. If it's not working, then we'll reset and see what we can do with that accuracy banner, or perhaps accuracy set on her. The spiderlings are now down for her. There we go. Good hit there. Big shield coming back on. She's looking in a pretty bad way, but good timing there on the shield, the veil, so that they're not going to target the apothecary for a while. The Cold Heart! Oh my god! The Cold Heart for a while. Oh, I'm going to actually have a breakdown if I keep getting that wrong. I cannot stop. Okay, so we're halfway through the health pool. We've got one more. So obviously the turn meter's filling back up. We could do with dropping turn meter again here. I'm not sure if it's back up yet. Yes, it is, and it has. That's good. So we're on the home straight here. Quarter of the health left. We could just need now things like Giant Slayer and War Master procs. Landed turn meter control there again. I mean, we've got no poisons or anything like that in this setup, so that's one area that could improve, I guess. Cold Heart continues to be the target. But we're just getting nice shields up. We're about to get the suck into the spiders again, so we're probably not going to quite do it on this rotation. Hopefully, though, we know more than kind of here on the damage. Yeah, that's about where I thought. We can't take one more of those big hits. One more of those big hits, we definitely die. So we now need to finish this spider off. Obviously, 4 minutes is... I mean, to be fair, for your first clear, 4 minutes is not terrible. And I think most people would take it if it meant they were getting their Arbiter. So, yeah, but we're going to go beyond 4 minutes. Mainly because we didn't get those kind of couple of turn meter reductions. But yeah, we're kind of looking good. Hopefully this is going to be just about it. We should get a turn meter reduction from the Tyrell in a second. Maybe Tomb Lord is better in this setup. So this brings decreased speed as well. Where would you put them though? Maybe instead of Duchess. Duchess is bringing a lot. She's doing a lot of work here. So you see these hits are starting to become harder and harder. Don't die. Oh, there we go. 5 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. Is there a quicker team in this account? Definitely there is. There definitely is. But for now, that is not a bad start. So, what have we done? We have over doubled Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss damage. We've got an auto team that works on Spider, first time out. And we've spent all the silver in the account. And we keep calling Cold Heart Apothecary. Hell Hades signing out.